One of the questions I get asked by entrepreneurs so much is, what should I be doing to market my business online? And of course, it varies from business to business. Every person's situation is different. But I believe that all entrepreneurs, all businesses should be doing some sort of content marketing. Very simply put, content marketing is where you create a piece of content and put it out online, ideally in front of your ideal client. And what type of content you should be creating for your business really varies. And in this episode, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to consider in order to decide what type of content you should be creating for your business. This is Unforgettable Online Marketing, and I am your host, Tara Wilder. On this show, we share practical online marketing tips and strategies for virtual business owners like yourself, so you can attract your ideal client, engage them, nurture a relationship with them, and turn them into leads and paying clients. Okay, let's get started with episode number 13. If you were to look at content marketing on a very basic level, you'd see that there are two different types of content marketing. There's content marketing where you just create it once and you're done, like a lead magnet. And there's the type where you create content on a recurring basis, like blog posts and social media posts. This episode is going to address the latter, the content that you create on a recurring basis. The three most popular forms of content are written content, audio, and video. And that's what I do. I create all three. The written content is on my blog and social media posts and emails. The audio and the video are this podcast. If you're listening to this podcast, by the way, you should know that this is also a video that's been uploaded to YouTube and is on our site. You can go to unforgettableonlinemarketing.com/13 to view this video. To determine what kind of content you need to create on a recurring basis, you need to consider four different things. The first question you need to ask yourself is, what type of content do they enjoy consuming? You're creating content for them, not for you. You want to make sure that they receive value from it. And if it's in a format that they enjoy consuming, then they're more likely to read it or watch it or listen to it. When I'm creating an online megaphone blueprint for a client, I consider a few things. The first is I consider their ideal client and what their lifestyle looks like. For example, consider an audience of busy parents who have kids still living at home. The kids have school, they have extracurricular activities, they have friends. They need to be driven like everywhere all the time. Plus, the parents probably work as well. So needless to say, these parents are super busy. They may not have time to sit down and read an entire blog post. So the question is, how can we make our content easy for them to consume? They can watch a video, or not watch, but maybe listen to a video while they're on the go, or they can listen to an audio while they're on the go. So those might be the two content formats I would consider for that particular client. Now, of course, that depends on a lot of other factors. What I want you to do next is do some industry research. Look for other businesses who are serving the same client as you are, and with reputable brands, credible brands, and large and engaged followers. Now, the reason why I'm specifying engaged is because it's all about quality over quantity. They may have large followings, but if nobody's engaging with their content, then that's a little bit of a red flag for me. Did they buy their followers, or maybe their followers are real, but they're just not interested in the content that this person is creating, or this business rather, is creating, which is another red flag. Then it's not really helpful for our research. So make sure that the businesses that you're doing industry research on have large and engaged followings. I say large because it's important that we have a large sample size. If the brand you're looking at, it has a smaller following, I'm sure that they're still providing really valuable content and offerings to their audience. But if they have a smaller following and an even smaller group of people who are engaging with them consistently, like 5 or 10 people, that's too small of a sample size in order to make any sort of conclusion. So the larger and the more engaged the better. Now look at their content marketing. They're probably creating a lot of content, and it's probably in a few different formats. So if that's the case, look at what their main content is and what that format is. And you want to see if their audience is actually engaging with it. Do this for multiple brands, because if you just look at one and base your entire strategy off of what they're doing, you may not be as effective. It might be that they are an outlier. Do it with multiple brands and see what the common denominator is. The fourth thing you need to consider is what type of content do you enjoy creating? Here's the truth. As human beings, if we don't like to do something, it'll be harder for us to gather the motivation to do it. That'll make it even harder for us to be consistent. And as I'm sure you know, with everything in business, consistency is key to success. So if you decide to publish a video every week and you loathe being on video, it's going to be harder for you to do it, and it's going to be harder for you to be consistent. On the other hand, if you have excellent discipline, but you don't enjoy creating that type of content, then that's not a very good feeling. So either switch gears if it's really not feeling right to you, or outsource the content. At InVivo, something that a lot of our prospects are concerned with, and our clients before they became clients were concerned with, was outsourcing their content marketing to a company, and that company being in 100% control. Then their content may not sound like them, the information may not be accurate, whatever it was. They were concerned about outsourcing it to another company and having it be 100% controlled by them. So I know that that's not necessarily the case for all online marketing agencies. I know that for us, what we do is we'll take what they've created and massage it a little bit and make it a piece of content that we can publish. So if our client doesn't like writing or doesn't like blog posts, but that's really the type of content their business should be producing, then we just have them word vomit the information, and then we massage it, rewrite it a little bit to make it sound like a really great blog post. The last question you need to ask yourself is, what type of content are you good at producing? We're creating content to make a difference with our audience, so quality matters. And so it's really important for you to consider your own talents. It's possible that the type of content you should be creating is also the type that you really enjoy creating, but you're not really good at it. So this is the time for you to become a student of that format of content. Do everything you can to become the best at it. If you don't have the time or the desire to learn and get better at creating that kind of content, then what you should either do is switch gears, create something different, or outsource it to an online marketing company. And that's it. Those are the 4 things that you need to consider when you're determining what format your content in your content marketing should be. You need to see what your ideal client enjoys consuming and what they're willing to consume. Then do industry research. Find brands that are serving a similar audience in a similar way to you, and see what type of content they're creating that their audience is actually engaging with. Then think about content that you enjoy producing, because if you enjoy producing it, then you're more likely to stay consistent with it. And finally, look at content or the formats that you are actually good at creating, because quality matters. And if the type of content that you really should be producing that you've determined is the best format for your audience and your content marketing is a format that you don't really enjoy, then try something else or outsource it. Before we wrap up, please go and rate and review this show on your favorite podcast player, because it helps us get this show in front of more entrepreneurs who could benefit from the strategies that are being shared by me and by the experts featured on this show. And I also love hearing from you and what you think. So please go to your favorite podcast player and rate and review. I will see you next time on Unforgettable Online Marketing.